So when we first met, you had heard about EFT, you had heard about tapping, and hadn't experienced it yourself, but I challenged you. I said, give me your hardest patients.
I did.
And you gave me your hardest patients. Part of me regretted, like, okay, I got my work cut out for me here. So let's talk about one of them, and it's okay that we share her name because she's been public about her results, and her name is Paula. So tell me about your experience with Paula, and then I'll chime in on what happened.
Sure. Well, Paula is the sweetest woman I've ever met, and she had so many different physical health problems that were her headaches and her hormones and digestion and fatigue, and she had a very constricted life where she couldn't go out, she couldn't function, she could barely eat anything, and her life was very much sort of in a bubble. And it's interesting when I see patients, because many patients can come to me and many of them can have exactly the same problem, and some I just do a few little magic tricks and they get better, and others don't. And when they don't, I realize that there's something deeper going on. There's another layer. And so I had a long talk with Paula one day. I took some time and I said, what's really going on? Like, tell me your life story. What happened like way back when? And her sister had died, and she got to take care of her nephew and raised him. And when he was a young man, he killed himself, and it destroyed her. And that trauma was buried in every cell of her body, and she couldn't get rid of it. So I thought of you. I said, they can handle this. And it was amazing. She did the tapping, and she had that release, that emotional freedom from this trauma that she had buried in her tissues. And she became liberated, she became pain-free, she was able to function, have a life. It was extraordinary. And we went on a trip together. It was just really amazing to see her emerge from that.
You saw her afterwards on the trip when she was pain-free. I mean, she had migraines for 11 years, I think it was on all sorts of meds that she was at the point, and you see it again with pain medication, where you get to the point where it's not doing anything, but you can't stop taking it, and now you throw the sleep meds on top of that that she was taking to try to fall asleep. Yet she wasn't sleeping, so it's like, got pain meds, got sleep meds, not sleeping in pain, like what's going on here? And when we worked together, we worked on that childhood trauma, and I think one of the challenges with chronic diseases like this, there's so many layers to it. So first we worked on the pain, on just we worked on childhood trauma, then we worked on the physical pain, then on the psychological dependence on the drugs, the expectation that I'm going to need this, the expectation that I'm going to need this sleeping pill in order to sleep, and then the detox. I mean, you know about detox from those drugs. It's very difficult. And we used the tapping to release those symptoms. So when the nausea came up, and when the fear came up, and when the desire to go back to that. And then there's the things that change where, well, now my life is so different. Now I have to go and see my friends that I couldn't see before because I had the headache as an excuse. And guess what? I don't really like that group of friends. I mean,
I think it was a good excuse.
It was a good excuse.
I like my headache.
Exactly. There's so many layers to it. And what I love about tapping is that it helps to unravel those layers. And you can do it with somebody like me or another professional, or you can do it by yourself and have that experience.
It's essential for healing.